feel that? Can you feel that outside? It is crazy, man. It is about to go down. It is about to go down. Because Howie Vision is about to shock the world. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and you know what I feel like? You know what I feel like besides Denzel Washington, since I look like him? I mean, look, spitting image, you know what I mean? But besides that, I feel like it's Christmas Eve. Like, I feel like a kid at Christmas Eve because there are so many different things going on the Eagles front with players that they could be trading away, trading for, the draft, free agency. I can't sleep. I'm so excited I cannot sleep. Pause. You know what I mean? It's like crazy right now. And before we get into all this craziness, I gotta say, if you haven't, make sure you hit that like and definitely subscribe. We're going to be doing Eagles content every day, as well as other NFL teams, division rivalries, Sixers basketball. It ain't going to stop. It is going to be nuts. We got a live stream tomorrow. We're going to talk Eagles. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we got so many things going on, man. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you subscribe. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double moonwalk check, and make sure that you're still subscribed. YouTube has been unsubscribing people unknowingly, and I don't think YouTube's doing it on purpose, but they've been doing it nonetheless. So just double check, make sure you're still subscribed, because I'm telling you, you ain't gonna want to miss what's coming. It's going to be epic. Now, in this video, we've got so many things going on. I kind of figured I would do like a kind of like a evening roundup where we just kind of go through some of the things that are out there for the Eagles now, at least 3 of the big rumors involving the Eagles right now, and kind of give you my opinion, because by tomorrow, some of these things could go down, some of these things could be totally off the board. We just don't know, but it's important to talk about each and every one of these things. The first one, and the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about Fletcher Cox, okay? Because as you guys know, I think it was Ian Rappaport the other day, he said that Fletcher Cox would be getting shopped around. The Eagles could pursue another trade for him. If you remember, the Eagles almost traded him, or they shopped him at the trade deadline last season. So it is very possible. And another report came out from Jordan Schultz. Shout out to Jordan Schultz. I worked with him. Shout out to thegameday.com. They're going to be sponsoring my live stream tomorrow. But shout out to them. I really like Jordan Schultz. Great guy. And he came out and he said that he's hearing that there's extreme interest in Fletcher Cox, and especially among three teams: the Steelers, the Bills, the Chargers are all interested in Fletcher Cox. Now here's the thing with it, okay? For the Eagles to trade Fletcher Cox before June, it's going to cost the Eagles $40 million in dead cap space, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, in general, if the Eagles were to trade Fletcher Cox, what would his value be? I'm guessing because of his age and stuff, I would say a 4th round pick, probably, something like that, okay? Maybe a 3rd round pick if you're really lucky. And I know you're probably saying, well, dude, come on, man, he's Fletcher Cox. Pause. But how could you say that? But here's the thing. His money, that he's making, his age, all those things, kind of go into it. So I would say, under normal circumstances, if you weren't looking at Fletcher Cox's money and you were just looking at how old he is, where he is at his career, I think probably a 4th round pick, something like that, maybe a 3rd round pick if you're lucky, okay? Now, for these teams to show interest, and if they wanted to trade for Fletcher Cox in, before June, this could actually benefit the Eagles in one way and hurt the Eagles in the other. The way that it would hurt the Eagles is that, like I said, they would have to eat $40 million in dead cap space. That's almost unheard of. It is unheard of, really. The only team that came even close to it was Oh yeah, the Eagles when they traded Carson Wentz and ate $35 million in dead cap space, so they would have to eat $40 million this year, which would be really really hard. Okay, but when you do that, like if the Eagles were to do that, it could theoretically, and it could increase the compensation for the Eagles, what they would get back for Fletcher Cox, because the Eagles aren't just going to eat $40 million and have Fletcher Cox traded away for a fourth round pick. They're going to have to give a lot more than that. So a team would have to really overpay for Fletcher Cox, which means that maybe the Eagles could get something high value. I don't see Fletcher Cox being traded unless the Eagles are going to get a lot of value for him. Okay, so I don't see that at all. But if they want to, hey, it's not necessarily a bad thing if they're going to try to trade him. Now, if they wait to June, it's not going to cost as much for the Eagles. But, our team's going to have basically the roster filled. Are they going to be able to have the space to bring in a Fletcher Cox? So it's something to watch out for. I think Fletcher Cox is more likely to be moved after June than before June. The other thing I want to talk about is Deshaun Watson. Now, we've talked a lot about Deshaun Watson. Hold on, I need a drink. Been working out, man, pumping iron, running, doing all this stuff, trying to get rid of these 5 chins in the back of the head and the one on the side. And then I got like 3 here. That's why I have the beard, but I'm going to shave that because I'm going to get svelte. I'm going to get stacked. I'm going to be doing, no more donut curls. I'm going to be bringing tickets to the gun show. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be badass. So in closing on the Fletcher Cox trade situation, I think there's a legitimate chance that he's going to get traded. I just think it'll be after June. I don't think it'll happen till after June. So come June, yeah, pause. But after June, yeah, he could be traded. Okay, I think it's going to be very hard for him to get traded now with that $40 million in dead cap space for the Eagles. Somebody is going to have to offer the Eagles something very intriguing for them to want to take on that much dead money. So after June, I think that's when it could happen. I would say 50-50 chance in regards to Fletcher Cox getting traded. Now, the other trade, one of the other trade rumors I want to talk to you guys about tonight is the Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is said to be somebody you need to watch closely. Jason LaCanfora said, name to watch in a trade to the Colts would be, if they can't land Cousins or somebody else, would be Gardner Minshew. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. If the Colts can't land Kirk Cousins, why would they want Kirk Cousins is beyond me. Or if they can't land Jimmy Garoppolo, somebody like that, Gardner Minshew may be the best option. Not only, he can play, and they got a decent team to put around him, but he's in the last year of a contract. He's making a last year of a $2.7 million contract. I think he's $900,000 in cap space against, for the Eagles this year. So he's cheap. He's dirt cheap. And that could give the Colts more flexibility. So this definitely is something that can happen. This, out of all the trade rumors that we've heard, especially today, I would say this has I think the best chance of being real, of happening, because we know Minshew kind of wants out. He alluded that he wants to go somewhere and play and be the starter. And if you're the Colts and you want maybe a bridge quarterback for 1 year that can keep you competitive until you find your franchise quarterback, Minshew may be the perfect guy. So I would definitely watch out for that. The question I have, and the big thing for me, is what are you going to get back for Gardner Minshew? You have to get something back that's good. I wouldn't trade him for a 5th round pick. I wouldn't trade him for a 4th round pick. I have to get at least a 3rd. Now you may be saying, yo, Philly 500, take a drink here. Oh man, thirsty. You need a drink, because why would you ask for that much for Gardner Minshew? He's a backup. And my thoughts are this. I don't see why the Eagles would be motivated to trade him. He's making $900,000 for the Eagles this year. That's all he's going to cost them. And he's a backup, and he's probably one of the better backups in the National Football League. Okay? So, for me to trade one of the better backups in the league that's making that much money, I think you have to give me a lot. You have to give me a lot. Otherwise, you trade him and you want to bring in a decent backup quarterback, it costs you up to $10 million a year. So, to me, he's such a bargain for one more year that I would definitely keep him unless I get a third-round pick. If I get a third-round pick, then I'm like, okay, cool. I can understand it. I could do it. But if I don't get at least a third-round pick, I ain't doing it. But I do think this has the best chances of the three rumors we're going to talk about of happening, okay? Now, the last rumor I want to talk about is crazy. It's the crazy rumor because this rumor is not week-to-week data. This is hour-to-hour changes. Hour-to-hour. As you guys know, for the course of the last year, the Eagles have been one of the top two front runners, supposedly, to land Deshaun Watson. They're saying Carolina and the Eagles consistently have been the front runners. Okay, and then today last night I go to bed and the Eagles are going to pursue him. They got FBI or private investigators looking into Deshaun Watson's situation. Howie Roseman, in the past he's talked to Deshaun Watson's lawyers. So you hear that Deshaun Watson, he's cleared of his criminal charges and he is ready. He is ready to get traded somewhere. And now you have all these teams that are interested. It was just the Eagles of Carolina. Now you got Minnesota, you got Indianapolis, you got New Orleans, you got Tampa Bay, you got Miami, you got the Panthers, and then maybe the Eagles in Pittsburgh. Can't forget about Pittsburgh. So all of a sudden, all these teams are interested in Deshaun Watson, and his value is skyrocketing. It's skyrocketing. I mean, it's like oil, the price of oil. Well, actually, price of oil is still more. I pay more for gas. All right, still. But Deshaun Watson's value is going way up. And, as far as the Eagles goes, it changes hour to hour. This morning, I read a thing. The Eagles have cooled on, pursuing Deshaun Watson. Then, a little later in the day, it's the team that you got to watch is the Philadelphia Eagles in acquiring Deshaun Watson. Then, it's like there was a big one, and this rumor was something else, and it was from 49ers and NFL News 24/7 said, huge rumor circulating around the league circles that the Philadelphia Eagles are now in the lead to acquire quarterback Deshaun Watson. A trade surrounding multiple draft picks and Jalen Hurts is said to be offered. Okay, 2 first-round picks. To me, that isn't bad at all. That's about what I would want to give for him. Okay? But then, after that comes out, and let me tell you something about that rumor. There was a lot of other people talking the same thing, talking about how he's willing to waive his no-trade clause. They were talking about how the Eagles were going to give 2 first rounds and a player. And it was just like, okay. But then a little while later, a few hours later, we get this other rumor from Aaron Wilson. Completely the opposite of what we heard. And he says the Eagles and 49ers are reportedly no longer interested in Deshaun Watson. My first thoughts when reading that was, the 49ers? What, 49ers interested in Deshaun Watson? What are you talking about? Why would the 49ers be interested in him when you got Trey Lance? That don't make sense. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? But then again, this whole thing doesn't make any sense. It is literally, and there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of things that come out, but I have never seen things swing back and forth so fast. Like, this is a disinformation campaign, okay? You're going to get the conspiracy theory guy coming out of me right now. Because I'm beginning to think this is all disinformation. And who do I know that is evil genius that's calculating the calculations of the cornbread to figure this all out? Howie Vision. And we're all just living in it. I swear, I almost feel like every time I hear the Eagles aren't interested in somebody, that's when the Eagles really were interested in somebody. It always seems like it works that way with Howie Roseman. Always. So, for all we know, he's putting that out there on purpose. And then he's going to come in and he's going to surprise everybody and snag them. That's what I would expect from Howie Roseman. When I hear, oh, the Eagles are pursuing him, the Eagles are interested, I'm less likely to believe it. When I hear that they're not, that makes me feel like they are. He's running circles around people. I give Howie Roseman a lot of grief about talent evaluation, but when it comes to trades, that dude's like the Flash. Like, he's running circles around people, and they're barely turning their head. You know what I mean? He does a good job on trades. So, I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I have no idea. Would it surprise me the Eagles go out and get him? No. Would it surprise me if they don't? No. I think Howie Roseman, every time he says one thing, it always seems like the opposite happens. No matter what, Howie Roseman has big plans. He has big plans, and he's going to do some things that we're all not expecting. I'm telling you, just get ready for it. It's going to be absolutely insane. And I can't wait. I can't wait. But this whole Deshaun Watson thing, it's going to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I said yesterday that I think the Eagles have a 10% chance of landing him. I'm going to say now, today, I think they still have a 10% chance of landing him. Maybe it went up a little bit when you had the whole Russell Wilson took the Eagles, quarterback of the Eagles off his bio. That turned out not to be true. That's why I did that other video to say it wasn't true. But I have no idea what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson and the Eagles. I don't know what to think. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know what to think with Howie Roseman because it's everywhere. And I think that out of the chaos, this little man with a bunch of pencils in his pocket and calculating calculations, that's where he loves to operate. So it would not surprise me if Howie's manipulating this whole thing. It's like an evil genius, It's just crazy to me. But the Eagles, they're going to do something. I think that the number one team most likely to land Deshaun Watson is going to be the Carolina Panthers. They have done more due diligence, according to reports, than anybody. I mean, Howie Roseman did send a private investigator. He did contact Deshaun Watson's lawyers. But Carolina, they have been waiting for this, and I think that they're the favorites. But who the hell knows? It is Howie Vision. And we're all just living in it. So those are kind of the rumors going on. I'm sure as I'm done this, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. But I wanted to put this up and kind of talk about these three things right now. Because tomorrow and this whole course of this week is going to be so fast-paced when it comes to the Eagles and stuff that I have to use this time to talk about all these other things. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It's been a crazy day. Now, I am going to go downstairs. I am going to go outside. I am going to put my Traeger on, and I am going to get ready to cook. That's right, cook. Because I got to lose weight. I'm on keto. This is like 9 days on keto, and I've been doing intermittent fasting. So I actually feel good today. Last few days, I started to actually feel like much better, like internally. Now I just got to take the weight off. But either way you look at it, tell Mark Holmes, I'm coming for his meats.